this shit. Tell them crackers I bleed the fifth. Bring that fire like Prometheus. I ain't tripping off that measly shit. Debba keep the fifth. Malak just got some bullets they heat seeking shit.
First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. That's the Most High's name, in the name of His only begotten Son. My name is Soldier Shazak. We're with the SICARII San Francisco sect. I'm here to teach repentance to the lost tribes of Israel, who are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians, right? And we're also here to tell these heathen their judgment, right? According to Matthew 12 and 18, right? Hey, sir, do you have a question, man? You mind if I ask you a question? Are you busy?
That's right.
You got to get going? No? What's that? Huh? Where you from, man?
Russian.
Ukraine?
Oh.
Oh, crazy, man. Hey, man, what do you think about what's going on, man, over there in your country, man? Like, they're Russia and whatnot. Hey, man. I mean, do you think Russia's gonna take over that land eventually? Because you guys are all the same people, right? Like, you guys used to be part of the Soviet Union, right? I'm sorry? You don't speak English? All right. Well, can I read something to you? More importantly, do you believe in the Bible? No? You don't believe in the Bible? All right. Well, let me just read something to you, man. Give me that, brother. Revelation. Hey, so are you aware what they did on this soil? How your ancestors, right? Because white people, they're all the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know what they did on the soil, right? Hey, so what do you think about Putin, though? Is he a good man? Vladimir, Vlad. You said what?
I don't understand.
You know what I'm talking about, Vladimir. Hey, man. Hey, man. I hope he gets that land back, man. Because the sooner that happens, is the sooner we get the hell out of this damn country, man.
Right.
But hey, let me get this real quick, right? Because you know what I'm saying, so-called the European, right? The European man came over here, and they put our so-called black brothers, right, in slavery, right? Just how they killed all the Native Americans, right, and the Seminole Indians, right, and also the Mexicans, right? And they took over this land, basically, right? You got that, brother? Khan. Hey, I hope you can understand this, buddy.
Revelation chapter 13 verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Hey, hey, sir, what's your name? Hey, do you know what captivity is? You know what captivity is? Slavery, right? Hey, well, hey, man, hey, so-called white people are going into slavery, man.
Right.
That's according to the scriptures, man. That's according to God.
Right.
And go ahead and finish that off, brother.
He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
All right, so if you kill somebody with the sword, right, just how you killed your ancestors killed our native brothers, right? You're supposed to be killed by the sword, man.
Right.
And yeah, I know he's not listening, so I'm just go ahead and continue with my lesson. You got something, brother? All right, go ahead and get that, brother.
This is Revelation 18, 5 and 6. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God had remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double.
Right, so everything y'all did to us, right? We're supposed to give you double, right? Just how y'all had us in slavery, right? For over 500 years. You so-called all these other nations, right? Who aren't the people on this chart, right? The Asian man, the white man, right? The East Indian. All y'all are about to go into slavery, right? And that's double according to the Bible, right? 1,000 years of slavery. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue with my lesson, right? and tell you who this word is for, right? Brother, can you get Psalms 147? You know what I want? And then can I get Ezekiel 3?
Psalms 147 and 19. It says, He showeth His word unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgment unto Israel.
Right? He showeth His judgments to Israel, right? That's you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? We are Israel, man. Go ahead and finish that, brother.
He had not dealt so with any nation. And as far for His judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh.
Right? Praise ye Yahweh, right? He has not dealt so with any nation, right? Meaning the people that I just mentioned, right? These whites, right? These fish heads. We all know who they are, right? But yeah, man, let me just go ahead and get this, right? You got verse 4, brother? You got that? And then, can I get, you got that, brother? Yeah, read to 11.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 4. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language.
Right? So he's not sent to these other people, right? To these strange nations, right? These strangers, these heathen, man. And we can prove who those heathen are according to the Bible, right? Go ahead, continue. What's that? Verse 5. Come.
Verse 6. Not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou canst understand. Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto me.
Right? If we had we had this message out here for everybody, right? Just like the Christian church, right? So like just how my brother just read, right? If this message was to all the nations, right? Just how the Christian church does, you know what I'm saying? Y'all would be more inclined to listen to what we got to say, man. But y'all don't want to hear that, right? Y'all don't want to hear the fact that this message is only for you so-called blacks and Hispanics, right? And Native and Seminole Indians, right? But if it were to all these other nations, right? Because our people, we love these other nations, man. And you know what I'm saying? That's not what the Bible says. Go, you got that?
Verse 7. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are imputed and hard-hearted.
Right there, hard-hearted, man. You give me Isaiah 30, brother. Right, so our people, you know what I'm saying? They're stubborn, man. They're stubborn, and they don't want to deal with God, man. Like they basically they abandon God, right? They just want to hear smooth words, man. And you got that, brother?
This is Isaiah 30 and 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Verse 12. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit.
Right, prophesy deceit, man. Like exactly what these pastors are doing in the churches, right? They're deceiving you, man, and that's according to Titus 1 and 10, right? They're out here deceiving you, telling you it's gonna be all right, right? And that's exactly what y'all want to hear, man. Y'all want to hear smooth words, man. And go ahead, that's 10, right? Time.
Verse 11, get ye out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
Right? Y'all don't even want to deal with the Bible, man. A lot of y'all just want to go and go to church, and a lot of y'all don't even believe in God, man. Y'all believe in these other philosophies, man.
Right.
And that's according, what is it? Colossians 2, I believe. You don't have to get that, brother. What did you have something? Come.
Verse 12, it says, "Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon."
Right? You guys love oppression, man. Y'all love it out here, man. Y'all love hanging out on 16th and Mission, and you know what I'm saying? Fulfilling your own lust, man. Out here, feel me, smoking weed and shit. Yeah, we all used to do that, right? But we turn from our wicked ways, man. And that's exactly what we're supposed to do. What's going on, sis? You got a question? No? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? You mind coming a little closer? Can I ask what's your nationality? Like, where's your father from? I'm sorry? You're Native American? Is your dad Native American? Both parents? Okay, hey, that's a beautiful thing, sister. Y'all mind handing the sister a flyer, please? So okay. Sis, you mind if I show you something? Are you mind holding up that poster, brother? Sis, so what do you are you familiar with what the Europeans did to the Native Americans, right? So what do you think about what they did right here, right? Because not only did they take our black brothers into slavery, right? They came in here to America, right? And they basically destroyed Native Americans, right? They slaughtered us, right? And they enslaved them, right? And what do you think about that, sis? Like, do you think that there should be some recompense? Like, there should be some vengeance for what they did to us? Because they some justice. I'm sorry? So do you believe the people on the sign, do you believe that they deserve forgiveness for what they did to us? You do? So do you believe in justice? Is that justice to you?
On both sides, I believe that when we go to the other side to get judged, we're going to be forgiven, but on this earth here, there will be justice.
Sorry,
either way you look
Is it on this side?
Yeah, on this side.
On this side, who will get justice?
There's going to be justice here and there's justice also.
All right, so
You've got to move on. You can't stay in the past. But you got to evolve.
You said something, you know what, you said something right? But the thing about justice, right, something has to be restored, right? Because our people practice what's called restorative justice, right? Right, that whole concept was our people, man, right? But there's certain things that these Europeans can't restore because they're still benefiting from what they did to us, aren't they? So until they restore those things, then we can talk about moving forward, right?
This is Ecclesiastes 3:16. "And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there."
Justice and judgment should be right here on earth, right? So we should be able to see this. Because ever since that the European has established the system, we haven't gotten no justice.
Right.
How many broken treaties have they made and broke against our people? Right? And they continue on doing that. And we always forgiven them over and over and over.
Right.
So forgiveness is not the key right now. Right? Read.
This is 2 Thessalonians 1:6. "Seeing it is a righteous thing with God, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you."
It's a righteous thing to recompense them for everything that they had done to us, right? But it's all within time, right? Because we can't go to war against them right now, right? Our ancestors tried that and failed, man, right? Because they had set up a system to make sure that our people failed, right? Like how many times that they called our elders and our chiefs under the white flag of peace for discussions, and they arrest them and torture them in prison cells, right? They have done that to hundreds of our chiefs, hundreds of our elders. So no, forgiveness is not the key right now. The only forgiveness that's the key is for each other, man, right? Because we need to start forgiving each other. We need to start loving each other, right? right? Read.
This is Genesis 49 and 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him.
See, the thing about this, we've been taught that the white man has given us this. He didn't, man, right? What he did, he used this as a weapon against our people. This is not theirs. This is more ancient, right, than what their power system is. So what they did, they got this book, right? See, this book talks about certain people that walk this earth today, right? And we can prove emphatically through prophecy and archaeology that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans on this side of the earth, through all Turtle Island, are these people in the Bible, right? Deuteronomy 28.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So the Most High God has given these people, which we can prove it's us, certain laws, certain concepts that come from him directly from the Creator, right? He says, if you follow these laws, I will put you on top of all nations on the earth. Apparently, we can look around and we can say, hey, yo, this didn't happen. But there's a reason why it didn't happen. Read.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So he said in one verse, he said, yo, if you keep these things, I will bless you and I will place you above all nations on the earth. I will make you the head and I will make all these people the tail. But if you don't keep these commandments, I'm going to punish you with this curse. Start at 16.
Verse 16, it says, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
He said, cursed shall you be in the city or in the field. So if you're breaking these laws, it don't matter if you're in 16th edition or out in the country someplace or out in a reservation someplace or anywhere outside the city, you're going to be punished with these certain punishments. He said, cursed shall you be in the field. Our ancestors was cursed in the field. The white man has enslaved the natives also. We were on his plantations also. And in Virginia, did you know that all of our Native American brothers were exported to other British colonies, like Jamaica and the West Indies? And we were working their plantations over there. So that's when we were cursed in the field, when we were picking the sugar cane, when we were picking the tobacco fields, from the land that they stole from our ancestors, right? Give me 28, 29.
Verse 28, it says, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
So he's going to smite our people with madness, with craziness, and blindness and astonishment of heart. Did you know that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans lead in mental illness, right, rates above everybody else? Why? From our trauma, right? From our trauma from colonization, right? From slavery. It's a scientifically proven fact that PTSD is passed down to children, right, from what our ancestors have went through. So when the white man comes with this ridiculous, stupid argument, you weren't a slave, you weren't getting killed, but we live with that. We live with that, with those consequences for what happened to our ancestors, man. Right? We go through the same PTSD that was handed down to us from our ancestors, right? From what the white man has done to us, right? Read. Like, and we lead in mental health issues. If you look at the charts, like what happened, like what's happening at the Black Hills right now? Our brothers, their reservation is right under the shadow of Mount Rushmore. So every single day when they wake up, they have to look up and look at the faces of these goddamn slave masters. The people that they slaughtered them, right? The people that took the very revered mountain, right? Because that mountain was called the Mountain of the Grandfathers, right? But they bulldozed it, they dynamited it, and put their faces all upon it. And our brothers live in the shadow. Their reservation is literally in the shadow of that thing, man. So what's happening? They're drinking themselves to death on that reservation, man. Right? This is a system that the white man has perpetuated and established for their people to benefit today. Read.
Verse 29, and thou shalt grope at noondays, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
Now you're going to grope at noondays as a blind gropeth in darkness. Look at our people around us, man. Our people are lost. They're groping at noondays today, right? Out here looking for dope, right? To numb themselves from the same trauma that the white man has given to us, man, right? Which leads to mental health issues. Read.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
He said we shall not prosper in our ways. No matter what our people had tried to do, it didn't prosper. Because we didn't keep God's laws, man. Read.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
He said we're going to be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save us. Right? No man is going to take us out of this situation. Right? What nations have made an outcry for our people? Nobody in this world stage cared about our people, man. We don't have no ally system. We only have each other. The blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, they've taught us that we're three separate people, but we're not. Right? Because we got the same story here on Turtle Island, man. Our black brothers were put on slave ships and chains brought over here. Right? Our North American, Native American brothers, right, when the expansion into the West was slaughtered. Just like our black brothers were slaughtered on the west coast of Africa when they first got put on the ships, man. Right? Then, all through Central and South America, same thing happened. All of us were put on slave ships and taken to places to be slaves at, man.
Right.
Like our Native American, us, through Central and South America, when the Spaniard came over here, he did the same exact thing. Why? Because they're the same people that did that. It doesn't matter if they're Spaniard, if they're British, if they're Dutch, French, it doesn't give a goddamn, because they're the same white man, right? Read.
This is Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes is yet failed for our vain help.
As for us, the blind, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, our eyes have failed for vain help. From what?
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
And we've watched to a nation that cannot save us. Why do we keep looking to the white man for reprieve from the same people that has done this to us, right? These same people that had done this to us, and we have them in our ranks at our protests. Why? That makes no sense, right? Why should we rub shoulders with the same people that did this to us, right? Because we're taught to forgive everything. Because we're loving people. We're loving people by nature. By nature, we're loving people, man. Why? Because we're God's people. We're God's children, man.
Right.
And that's why God's going to need that faith with the white man. That's why God's going to need that with the white man for what he did to his chosen people, right? No, keep going.
31, it says, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies.
So what happened when the British man came over here? Have you seen pictures of the white man standing on mountains of skulls of buffalo? Let me find that for you. Someone pull that up, man. They slaughtered the buffalo, killed them. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of buffalo as a method of warfare to starve us out, man. Right? To make us dependent on their rations, right? Their rations wasn't shit, sister. I'm sure your elders told you this, right? They give them some flour and some whiskey and certain small rations, and that's why our Native American brothers get the bannock today, right? The fried bread today, right? From the rations that the white man has given. This is what I'm talking about. You see that? That's buffalo skulls. And that's a white man standing on a mountain of buffalo skulls. Read that again.
Deuteronomy 28:31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
He's saying your ox, because the buffalo is the same animal, right? It's a bovine, right? It's the same animal. Read.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof.
you shall not eat thereof, because they did that as a method of warfare to starve our warriors, to starve our mothers, our grandmothers, our elders, and our babies, to make us dependent on their rations, right? Give me read.
This is Zechariah 2:8. For thus said the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye.
Most High Creator, man, our Creator and Creator of everything seen and unseen. He says those that touch us is like touching his eye, because we're the apple of his eye. When you look in the mirror, you see the reflection of yourself. That's what God is saying, right? We're his people. Whoever has laid hands on us, God's going to need that with them. So the white man has a serious judgment coming against him, man, right? Give me 32.
Verse 32 in Deuteronomy 28. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Listen, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand.
What happened with the boarding schools? Right? These to march on reservations, march on our communities, right? And take our children and take them to boarding schools to civilize them, man. To Christianize them, right? To assimilate them, right? To unsavage them, man. Right? That's why we find graves of babies, man.
What's that saying? Kill the Indian, but save
kill the Indian, but save the man. Right? That, I forget that white man that said that, but he's the first one that made it's called the I forget the name of the first boarding school, but that was his design, right? Kill the Indian, save the man. That was his thing. So he's saying our children shall be given unto another people, and there shall be no might in our hands, and our eyes shall be longing for it. Guess what, sister? 6 months ago, as of 6 months ago, see, after all that happened, there were certain laws put in place, right? That if CPS custody, if our children, if Native American children were going to CPS custody, the courts would make sure that it will go to another Native American family or to its closest relatives. That was the Indian Child Welfare Act. Guess what? These white people want to throw that out the window. It's in the Supreme Court right now. They want to redo that again. They want to destroy that law so they can keep our Native American, our indigenous babies. This is in the courts right now, man. This is how much the white man's the devil, man.
Right.
Because ever since they landed on this shore, that's all they wanted to do. Right? Kill our elders, keep their babies, and what's the word I'm talking? Re-educate their mind and assimilate them in white culture, right? Keep reading.
Come on, verse 30. Verse 32, it says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Verse 36, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
Us and our rulers and our chieftains, right? Our rulers were going to be taken into captivity. How many times did that happen? Like I said, right? How many times did they called our elders and our chieftains and under a white flag of peace, and they just arrest them and torture them or converted them by force by the tip of the sword, right? That happened to that also happened to our Taino brothers, right? Our Taino brothers, they got their cacique, their ruler, their king, took him to Spain, put him in chains on ships, took him to Spain and forced Christianized them and made them worship gods made out of wood or stone. Wood that represents the cross in the Catholic Church. Stone that also represents something else. That's another major religion that our people are turning to in this modern age, which is Islam. Islam, they worship a stone in Mecca, right? So this is all prophecies, and this is a beautiful thing. This is how we know this is God's words, because this is written thousands and thousands of years ago before it happened, and it happened just like it said it was going to happen, right? Read.
Yeah. Verse 37, it says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword."
You shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. That means that we shall become an astonishment to the whole world, and everyone's going to have a byword and a proverb for us. Meaning, we're going to have all these certain names that people are going to have they have for us. I'm talking about people that never set foot in America. They'll either call us savage, wetback, spick. You know what I'm saying? All these words. You know what? Like even Indian is a proverb. That's a byword. As soon as dumbass Christopher Columbus stepped, he thought he was in India. That was the first proverb that there was a byword that was put upon us. Indians, right? Read.
It says, "Among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee." Verse 39, "Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine, nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them."
He said, we shall plant all these, we shall have all these harvests, and we shall not eat them, right? Why? Because we were under siege. We were being under attack, right? Read.
41, "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them."
So we're going to beget sons and daughters. We're going to have children, read.
"But thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity."
And our children shall go into captivity. That's still happening today. I'm talking about these CPS custodies, especially the Board of Indian Affairs. They can still go on to reservations, right? And you know what they call child endangerment? Having too much people in the one household. How crazy is that? Having too many people in the one household, they will call that child endangerment, or not having fit parents. How? We're a communal people. We're a communal people. It don't matter if you're my neighbor, your children are my children. That's how our people was, right? My sister's, my sister or my brother's children are my children. That's how our people are. But the white man today, he uses that as an excuse to label parents as unfit parents, but he can take their children. That's still happening today. And like I told you, the Indian Child Welfare Act, that's a big thing that's in the Supreme Court right now. They want to eliminate that so they can take our indigenous babies and give it to white families, just like the Bible said, right? Give me where you at? Where you at? Give me 43, 44.
Verse 43, it says, "The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high."
So the stranger that's among us shall get above us very high. The white man's a stranger to these lands. He don't belong here. But he said, the Most High Creator said that he's gonna come above us, right? Read.
"And thou shalt come down very low.
He shall come down very low. Read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him."
He said he's gonna lend to us, but we're not gonna lend to him. Every time that we need a loan, where do we go to? We go to all these banks. Bank of America had their seed money in slavery. Wells Fargo had their seed money in the expansion of the West, right? We go to all these institutions that had their hands in our oppression. Read.
"He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail."
Ye shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That's opposite of what the Most High told us at first, that he's going to make us the head and them the tail. Right? Read.
"Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee."
All these punishments shall come upon us and pursue us. Read.
"And overtake thee till thou be destroyed."
Us